Yes, guys. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining me yet again, guys, on another show. I hope you're all doing well this evening. Guys, do appreciate you all joining me. Thank you very much. I got, big up to Sam in the chat. Big up, man. I don't know if you're still live or not, but big up to my man. Hope you're doing good. Look, obviously, last night, I'm going to talk about what happened last night on Monty's show. What happened to me during the day. It's not been nice. But I just want to get I just want to tell you guys what happened. So, obviously, it got clipped up. The clips have been deleted. They've been gone. But obviously, before that, they were there, and everyone saw them, and you know what it is. Look, I don't mind. I've told everyone all the time that I don't mind people having their say or disagreeing or not agreeing with what I say. That's not an issue to me. That's not a problem to me. It never will be. I know I come out with some takes at times that a lot of people don't believe in or think I'm talking nonsense or rubbish. But look, you guys know me by now. I'm quite an honest guy. I tell you everything from the heart how I feel. Sometimes, I say things that later on, I'm like, I shouldn't have said it quite like that. I said it a bit wrong there. I worded it not quite correctly, and because I'm quite emotional, I say things quite in the heat of the moment at times, and that can get me in trouble, obviously. But but I'm always honest, when it comes to my football club and the way I feel. This is the way I feel. I'm not going to change. It's just the way I'm feeling. I've seen people, unfortunately, clip up James Redmond and, with his Mo Salah video that I think he did on TikTok, and people coming for him for that for no reason whatsoever. It's not really a nice thing. And I'm just having a conversation, man. I'm just having a conversation about what I see at our football club and the manager and everything going on with it. And look, people don't know. So, in my opinion, the last 2 years at Liverpool, I don't particularly think we play very nice football. I think we're boring to watch. I think our football is diabolical. I think the amount of chances we concede is diabolical. I don't think there's much structure in our club. And that's not just the manager, by the way. That's the whole club at the moment. I think the structure of our club is wrong. And what people don't seem to realise is, right, with Jurgen Klopp, the biggest thing I can give, this is the biggest praise I can give Jurgen Klopp, by the way. I can't give Jurgen Klopp no bigger praise than this. Jurgen Klopp, for me, is the modern day Bill Shankly for Liverpool. Yeah. Now, if anyone knows where Bill Shankly took Liverpool, Liverpool were in Division 2 at the time, Old English Division 2, struggling badly. He came along and made a bastion of European football again, as his words are say. Yeah. Took us from the dark times and made us a bastion of football again. From between, what was it, 1959 and 1976, 1977, made us a bastion of football and put Liverpool back on the map in England and in Europe. And if you look at what Jurgen Klopp done for Liverpool, he's done a similar kind of thing, hasn't he? Liverpool were in the doldrums. Brendan Rodgers was manager. That was terrible. The awful times for Hodgson, terrible. Kenny Dalglish tried before that to settle the ship. And we was in a place where FSG didn't know what they were doing. We had Damien Comoli and Ian Eyre as our sporting directors. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely garbage. You know what I'm saying? And then Jurgen Klopp came along and, for me, did what Bill Shankly did. That is my biggest take. And the problem is, this is the major issue with fans today. Yeah, I give Klopp that credit, that money in the bank, that he's the modern day Bill Shankly. So I can't give the man any more praise than that. That's the highest praise a Liverpool fan can give a manager, in my opinion. It's calling him the modern day Bill Shankly, right? But it still don't mean I can't criticise him when it needs criticising. See, I criticised Trent I criticised Trent, yeah? So I criticised Trent Alexander-Arnold yesterday, right? And that got clipped up as well, yeah? But everyone on the Trent video agreed. All I saw in the comments was like, Jamie's right, he's not lying, he's telling truths. So everything I said about Trent in them videos, everyone agreed with. No one had a problem. Everyone agreed with it. No one had a problem. It was all good. No problem whatsoever. As soon as you mention Jurgen Klopp, then it goes into overdrive. And it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, he's the only untouchable Liverpool manager that, you know, he does things wrong. It's like, so basically I said, right, so after the game the other day, after the Aston Villa game yesterday, last night, when the Villa game finished, yeah, all I saw was content creators and people on Twitter and social media saying Arne Slot has got a heck of a job to do when he comes to Liverpool to sort out this defence, right? That was what everyone was saying. So I said yesterday on Monty's channel is that why hasn't Jurgen Klopp sorted out this defence in the last 2 years? You know, if Arne Slot has got a job to do to fix this defence, how bad it is right now, and this defence is bad right now. No one can sit here and pretend it's good. It's shocking, right? The way we defend, you know, if games finished after 15 minutes, Liverpool would be 19th in the Premier League. Do you know that? Only Sheffield United have conceded less goals in the opening 15 minutes of Premier League football this season than Liverpool Football Club. And no one thinks that's a problem. Like, literally, no one thinks that's a problem. Everyone thinks that's kosher. That's not an issue. That's not a problem. And I personally don't understand that. I can't wrap my mind around that. Now, maybe other fans can. Maybe other Liverpool fans they can see it different. I can't wrap my mind around it. I really can't. I can't wrap my brain around that scenario. It's just me. It's not all Liverpool fans, obviously. It's just me. It's the way I think and the way I feel. That you've got a manager as quality as Jurgen Klopp is, one of the greatest managers in the world of football at the moment. And I'm not going to take that away from him. But the structure of the way we play and him letting Pep Lijnders take charge of our football club. He told Pep Lijnders, did anyone watch that Liverpool round table? You know, did everyone watch that Liverpool round table? Yeah. So on the Liverpool round table, he turned round to Pep Lijnders and told us that he asked Pep Lijnders to take the final in the Champions League because he's lost so many. And that's just gone under the radar. No one's talking about it. He literally went, I asked Pep Lijnders to take control of the cup final because I've lost so many. So I've asked him, I didn't want to lose another one again. And it's gone under the radar. You know, it's gone under the radar. It really, like, things like that. He says things like that and people just go, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's on the it's on the round table. Now, he could have been sacked. I personally think Jurgen was saying it in jest. I'm going to say this right now. I think he was saying it in jest as a joke, you know, as a joke. But we know for a fact, guys, we know for a fact that what we know for an absolute fact is that Pep Lijnders, the football we're playing this year and last year, are Pep Lijnders' system. Klopp said that himself. You know, everyone's heard it now. You know, Pep Lijnders said this will work. If it don't work, you can, fire me or not pay me my wages or something like that. What was it? Not pay me my wages or something like that if it doesn't work, yeah? Right? That was what was said, yeah? That was what was said. So why are we playing Pep Lijnders football? Because I know Jurgen Klopp doesn't like this, guys. Does anyone think Jurgen Klopp literally likes playing this football? Does anyone in the chat actually think Jurgen Klopp likes us playing this system and this football we're playing right now? Just think of the Jurgen Klopp, the Jurgen Klopp that was at Mainz, at Borussia Dortmund, that started at Liverpool. Is this the football that Jurgen Klopp really likes to play? Personally, I don't think it is. This slow, really, really slow side-to-side transition football that we play from the back, trying to build up and be a possession-based football team. We ain't a possession-based football team because we haven't got good enough footballers to play possession-based football. Like, you look at City and Arsenal, yeah? They got technically better footballers to play that sort of football. We got P&P players. We got pace and power players. That's what we got. Darwin Núñez, pace and power. Mo, pace and power. Diaz, pace and power. Trent is technical. Robbo, pace and power. Yeah, Virgil, pace and power. Canate, pace and power. Szoboszlai, pace and power. They're all P&P players. So you're asking them to play a different brand of football that really don't suit the way they like to play. The players that have stood out this season are more the technically gifted footballers that suit the way we're playing. Things that your players like Alexis McAllister, who can play possession-based football because he's technically an excellent footballer. So we're playing a brand of football right now that don't really suit the players we want. And we're playing sort of like a half and half system. We're playing a half and half system. So we're playing this we're playing this inverted fullback system where it doesn't matter. It depends on who's the player. So if Trent's not playing, Joe Gomez will invert from left back. So someone always inverts, covers the space to control the midfield because we play through the middle. Our play is through the middle. We want to play through the middle of the team. We don't play out wide anymore. Why do we not play out wide anymore? What's the point of having Mo Salah and Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo in your team if you're not playing out wide? Trent don't play out wide anymore. He inverts, so he's in the middle of the pitch. So you got no width on the right. Robbo, if Trent's inverting, Robbo has to become a third centre-back. So you got no width. That's why Luis Diaz is running so much up and down that left-hand side. We're really lopsided. We're like that. We're really a lopsided team. And we're easier to play against because of it. We're easier to play against because of it. And I just don't think this is a Jurgen Klopp football team. And these last 2 years, and when I say about remembering Jurgen Klopp, right, I won't remember these last 2 years because for me, this is not Jurgen Klopp football. These last 2 years are not Jurgen Klopp football. The Jurgen Klopp football I remember us playing is, the Champions League and Premier League winning years, the year before the Champions League winning, when we got into the Champions League. When was it? We're beating Middlesbrough. Was it Middlesbrough in the last game of the season to beat Arsenal into the top 4? That when we're playing that football, when Salah joined the football club, when Mane joined the football club, and that beautiful football we're playing, when we're playing with width and power, and you had Trent and Robbo going up and down the fullback areas, up and down the wide areas all day. You had Mane and Salah up and down the wide areas. You had Genie and Jordan Henderson, who had the legs in midfield and could defend, covering the wide areas, and Fabinho sitting as the 6th. Power, pace. You had that press that was unbeatable. Liverpool's press is the best press I've ever seen in club football. As long as I've been watching football, that press, we strangled the opposition. No one could get out. No one could fight against us. We didn't concede that many chances because the ball never got to the defence. We didn't leave Virgil van Dijk isolated. We didn't leave Joel Matip isolated and exposed. We didn't have Trent exposed as much as he is today. No one was talking about Trent's defending as much back then. Everyone was just talking about what a tremendous fullback he is. No one's really mentioned his defending. It's only been the last few years because we now left Trent completely and utterly exposed as a right back. And I don't think anything I'm saying here is a lie, guys. I really don't. I don't think anything I'm expressing right now is a complete lie. Do you guys think it's a lie in the chat? Let me know. It's like 136 of you in the chat. Am I lying here? Just put a yes or no in the chat. Let's talk about it. I need a debate with you guys. it's the way we play. You know, our defenders are always exposed now. And I'm not putting all this on Jurgen, obviously. As I said, can't give Jurgen Klopp the bigger mantle of praise and comparing him to Bill Shankly, Liverpool's greatest ever, in my opinion, yeah, for reasons. Yeah. Liverpool wouldn't be Liverpool today if Bill Shankly was never in charge. So Bill Shankly, for me, is the greatest Liverpool manager of all time and always will be, right? And I'm comparing Jurgen Klopp to Bill Shankly as a modern day version. So people that's coming at me for my Jurgen Klopp chat, please listen to the words I'm speaking. Actually, clip this up. Clip up the moments that I'm talking about. He's the modern day Bill Shankly. I can't give him any more praise than that. In fact, I don't hear all these other fans calling him that. So, but at the same time, it doesn't mean he's perfect. You know, it doesn't mean that he's perfect in what he does. And he's not. You know, sometimes his comments, I think, are needless to say. I think sometimes as a fan, he embarrasses me with comments. You know, like, we couldn't play well today because it was windy, or the pitch was really dry, and we couldn't play well because the pitch was dry, or it was really windy and it was difficult. And it's like, I don't want to hear things like that. You know, that's an excuse for the reason we lost. Don't use that as an excuse. Just go, I got it wrong. Me and my team got it wrong today, and that's why we lost. Don't go, the pitch was too dry. So it weren't too dry for the other team. Yeah, I don't like all that stuff. Big up ends. I don't like all that stuff, you know. But it's not all his fault. I'm not going to sit here and pretend Klopp, like, FSG have got a lot to do with it. The owners have got a lot to do with it. The people around him have got a lot to do to it. I think there's too many clingers on. I think there's too many people around Jurgen Klopp that just say, yes, Jurgen, yes, Jurgen. I think you need I think personally, you need people around you that will challenge your opinions. Because if you challenge someone's opinions, it makes that person better. Because if you tell someone, no, mate, you're perfect, everything you do is absolutely, well, it's fine, there's no problem here, maybe we could change a little bit here and there, but otherwise it's great, then you're not going to learn, you're not going to grow, you're not going to get better at your job. And I think there's too many clingers-ons at our club at the moment. There's too many yes men. There's too many yes men in the club. And for me, Pep Lijnders is the biggest yes man of them all, man. You know, he just bows down to Jurgen. It sounds like he won't go against Jurgen. He won't go, you know what, Klopp, no. You know, he gets his own way. Yeah, of course it is, Colin. Go for it. It gets his own way. Yeah, Colin, put your channel in the DM. Of course, Colin, you don't have to ask, man. You're a mod. Put your channel in there. Come on. Don't be silly, man. You know, it's just... I don't think, like, we talk about it. Like, Liverpool fans talk about this all the time. Why does Pep Lijnders is the only assistant coach in football that takes the press conference for League Cup games and is basically the manager for League Cup games? It's like they share duties. It's like, I can't bother doing the League Cup. Yeah, Pep, you got League Cup duties, all right? And like, Pep Lijnders is the League Cup, is the manager for all League Cup games. He picks a team and he does the press conference. He says that himself. He picks all the teams for the League Cup games and he does the press conferences, yeah? That's his job until it's a final and Jurgen takes back over, which is a bit of an ego, by the way. If you're letting your assistant manager take all the press conferences and pick the teams in all the League Cup games, you do it in the final as well. You just don't take over because it's a final. That's a massive ego. You let him do it. I mean, what otherwise, why? You know what I mean? It's just... I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Other people might be fine with it. And if you're fine with it as a Liverpool fan, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to have a go with you about it. I'm not going to come at you and go, oh, why are you fine with that? That's mad, man. But I don't understand it because I don't feel that way. I feel different. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get why you've got a different manager for League Cup games. Personally, I don't get it. That shouldn't be the case. My assistant manager should not be in charge of my League Cup games and picking the teams. He just shouldn't be. Yeah, assistant coaches are meant to be there to to help the manager of a football club, give advice to the manager of a football club, come up with plans together with the manager, come up with training regimes, system changes, tactical approach. That's what the assistant coach usually does. The assistant coach will then implant what the manager wants to do into training and take training sessions. That's what they do. But it's like the last 2 years that Pep Lijnders has been the one in charge. I've been saying this for a while now. In my opinion, Pep Lijnders has been manager of Liverpool Football Club for the last 2 years, but Jurgen Klopp is the face. Jurgen Klopp is the face of the football club, but in my honest opinion, for the last 2 years, Pep Lijnders has been manager of our football club. Big up, Darren. Thank you very much, Daz. Appreciate it. Big up, Cal in the chat as well. You know, and if you look at Buvac, you know, Buvac got kicked out of Liverpool. He left Liverpool. We never really understood why. You know, Buvac, you know, he questioned Klopp quite a lot. You know, he went, you know, he wanted, you know, they butted heads quite a bit eventually at Liverpool. You know, I think a lot of the reason Buvac left is because Klopp brought Pep Lijnders back, and I don't know if it's true or not. That might just be rumours, but I believe Buvac and Klopp, Buvac and Pep Lijnders didn't like each other, or they didn't get along. And Buvac has always been Klopp's number two. He's always been Klopp's right hand man, and I feel like he felt Pep was becoming that right hand man, and I think they fell out. I'm not sure. I don't think we're ever going to know, but it seems like that way to me. But I just feel like I'm a Liverpool fan through and through, guys. I've always and will be. Big up Solo in the chat as well. I'll always be a Liverpool fan. Liverpool will always be there for me. You know, my family, my wife, my kids, and Liverpool Football Club. That's my life, guys. I'm telling you right now, that is my life. I don't like football as much as I used to like football. You know, I used to watch, I don't know about you guys, but I used to watch everything football related. Everything. You know, if there's a football game on, I'm watching it. I'm slowly falling out of love with it as much as I used to because of the money in football now and the corruption in football. But if Liverpool's on, anything with Liverpool, I'm watching it and I'm doing it and I'm buying it. Simple as that. I live and breathe Liverpool Football Club. And I can't have anyone telling me that I don't. You know, I can't have people telling me because I'm a Southern Liverpool fan, because I'm a Southerner, shock, listen to the accent, that I don't love the Liverpool because I'm not a Scouser and I'm not from there or anything like that. I don't love it like you do. I hate that comment. I don't know if there's any other Southern Liverpool fans in the chat, and I'm not blaming this on Scousers or anything like that, by the way, but I get it quite a lot lately that apparently I don't love Liverpool as much because I'm not from Liverpool. It drives me absolutely bonkers. It drives me mad. It drives me absolutely mad. And I do. I love the club. I love the club with all my heart. I want this club to thrive. I want this club to be the Real Madrid of England. That's what I want Liverpool to be. I want them to be the Real Madrid of England. That is my goal and hope for this football club. You know, and I don't care who's our manager to do that. That is one thing, guys. I don't care who's our manager as long as we achieve that goal of being number one. And that's all I want, guys. That's all I want. I want us to be number one. It doesn't matter to me who the manager is. If Arne Slot comes in and does a better job than Klopp, he might not do. He probably won't because Klopp was great at his job. But say Arne Slot came in and did really well. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here tomorrow and go, look, I told you Arne Slot will be better than Klopp. You lot should give him a shot. I'm not going to do that because I don't care about that. But if he's the man that makes Liverpool number one, he's the man that makes Liverpool number one. If it's not Arne Slot and it's someone after Arne Slot, or eventually it's Xabi Alonso or someone like that, then great. Liverpool are number one, and that's all that matters to me. It seriously does. Nothing else matters but Klopp, Liverpool being the number one football team in world football for me. Doesn't matter who the manager is, guys. I don't have attachments to managers. I really don't. I'm sorry to tell everyone. You know, I'm really, really sorry to tell everyone. I don't have attachments to managers. I know there's a lot of people out there who've got a massive attachment to Jurgen Klopp, and big up to you guys, and that's great. But because someone else has got a massive, if you've got a massive attachment to Jurgen Klopp, and you know you're beside yourself, he's leaving, you're upset he's leaving, you don't know how you're going to carry on being a Liverpool fan. I've seen all this. You can't come at me because I don't feel the same. And that's what I don't like about football today. This is what I can't stand about football today, man. You can't come at a person because they don't feel the same as you. It's like, how dare you not feel the same as me? How can you sit here and slag Jurgen Klopp off when he's leaving? How dare you? This is all I'm getting. How dare you slag Jurgen Klopp off when he's leaving? Do you know who he is? Oh, you disgust me. You're not a real Liverpool fan. You're not from here. You're not a real Liverpool fan. That's all I've been getting the last 24 hours, guys. Literally. That's all I've been getting the last 24 hours. I'm like, what are we doing? So my love for Liverpool Football Club is only equated by my love for the manager. So my love for the manager is not the same as your love for the manager. So that means I can't be a real Liverpool fan. Do people actually hear themselves? This is the way we act today. It's fucking madness. Absolute madness. It's oh, I'm going to sit here and tell everyone right now, yeah? I will miss Jurgen Klopp when he leaves. I've not said it, I won't. Right? Now, one of the things that got clipped up is me when I said by 5 p.m. on Sunday, I would have forgotten about Jurgen Klopp and I'll be looking for the future, yeah? Now, again, that's me talking with my mouth before my brain engages. But what I meant by this, and I need to tell everyone this right now because this is the bit, that's the line that pissed everyone off, right? That's the line that pissed off the whole of social media. Look, I've always wanted to be quite a big thing. I ain't gonna lie, and I was quite a big thing over social media these last 24 hours. Everyone talking about me, so especially certain big accounts, yeah, which I thought were my friends, and obviously not. But and obviously, I thought they know me, right? But obviously, they don't. It just it. I will miss Jurgen Klopp, yeah. I will miss him. But what I meant by it when I said, "Oh, by 5 p.m. Sunday, I would have forgotten about Jurgen and I'll be moving forward, new future." What I mean by it, I won't miss the last 2 years. It's the last 2 years I won't miss. Because for me, the last 2 years, I know we've done well this season, guys, and we're in a title race and all that. And that's great. And it's great. But has it really been that good this season? Like, let's all sit here right now and look back at the whole season. Was it really that good? As I said, only Sheffield United conceded less goals than Liverpool in the first 15 minutes of games this whole season. And they conceded 101 goals. You know, a lot of quality got us through games, in my opinion, more than tactics. I literally think this season, people like Salah, Trent, Jota, and McAllister, they got us through a lot of games on their individual brilliance more than tactics and a system did. And then last year was dog shit. You know, last year, I said it last year, Klopp was terrible last year. You know, Klopp tactically weren't with it last year. And everyone came at me last season. How can you talk about Klopp like that? How can you say this about Klopp like that? And at the end of the season, he even admitted it. He admitted he weren't himself and he was thinking about leaving. He was thinking about leaving last season. He admitted it himself that he weren't quite right. And he wanted to start this summer fresh. But people ignore it because it's easy to ignore. That's what I mean by it, guys. I just want to put that out there. I just want to put that out there that the last 2 seasons for me, football-wise and the structure of our team have not been great. The whole club, structurally wise, and the way we play has not been great at all. And it's not all to do with Jurgen; it's to do with the whole club. Yeah, that's what I meant by it. But as I said, my brain doesn't engage before my mouth sometimes, and I say, and it comes out, and it looks a bit bad, especially when people clip it up, and you know it doesn't. People then don't see what I said 2 minutes after that. 2 minutes after that conversation that got clipped up, by the way, I sat there and said, yeah, I love Jurgen. I'm going to miss him. And he's my modern day Bill Shankly. It's the biggest praise I can give him. That bit, no one saw. No one saw that bit. So they just see this bad Southern Liverpool fan who's apparently ungrateful and should know where we come from and all this BS that you can completely get all the time. And yeah, we had good times under Jurgen Klopp. And I said this as well. We had great times under Jurgen Klopp. Fantastic times under Jurgen Klopp. But they're quite a while ago now. It's not like they were recent. They're quite a while. If we're being absolutely honest with ourselves, they were at least 3 years ago. Yeah. The last 2 years have not been a great time. It's been pretty dross. Yeah, we won the League Cup this year. Cool. We should have won. For me, missing out in that Europa League and a Dublin final, I think it's pretty scandalous. The FA Cup loss to Man United, pretty scandalous. And the way we just bottled the league, well, not bottled the league, but the way we've gave up on the league. Let's say it that way, because bottling's too harsh, I think. Bottle is quite a harsh way of putting it. The way we gave up on the league is a bit mad as well. And I look at the players, and I look at the players right now as well, guys, and I'm like, I look at the players, and I'm like, are the players actually playing for Jurgen? Like, in all seriousness, right now, are these players actually giving enough for the manager right now? Does anyone think they are? I'll ask you guys in the chat. Does anyone think these players right now are doing everything they can for the manager? Are these players giving everything to this legendary manager that most of them have only played under, being at Liverpool Football Club? Are they really giving everything for him right now? Because I think the players, look, I'm going to say it right now, I think the players have hung Jurgen out to dry. I really do. I think some of the senior players in this football team have left Jurgen out to dry a little bit. Jurgen's taking it all on his own shoulders, because this is where I praise Jurgen Klopp, yeah? So get ready for this, guys. I do praise Jurgen Klopp. This is where I praise him. Jurgen's a man, yeah? Jurgen takes this all on his own shoulders, yeah? He takes the whole club on his own shoulders. This is why everyone loves him. And I feel like the players have done him a bit dirty. I really do. I think the players have done him a bit dirty at times. And it doesn't look like they're really playing for him right now. But like I said earlier as well, but is the manager also using the players correctly? Is the manager utilising the players like he should be at the same time? Is he using the players like he really should be? Is Szoboszlai a box-to-box midfielder? Not what I've ever seen of Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is like a floating 10 or a wide player. Anytime I've watched Szoboszlai play football before he joined Liverpool Football Club, he either played as a floating 10 or as a wide player. There are the two positions I only ever really see him play. And we play him a box-to-box midfielder. And let's face it, he was doing the Jordan Henderson job to cover Trent Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai's job was to use his legs and cover Trent Alexander-Arnold's position at right back. That's what Szoboszlai's job was. That's why Klopp played him all the time. Although us fans were saying, like, Szoboszlai's done. He can't even pass the ball 2 yards. He keeps giving it away. Klopp plays him when he's fit. And the reason Klopp plays him when he's fit is because he's running. If you actually look at his running stats, I believe Szoboszlai has the best pressing and running stats in our team this season, I believe. And that's why Jurgen plays him. But is he getting the best out of that player doing that? That's another issue. But you're not allowed. When I bring these things up and talk about these sort of things, I get crucified. Absolutely crucified. Like, you can't say anything. You can't say anything. Let's look at transfers. Let's look at transfers. Let me ask you guys, because you're my community, yeah? You're my community. This is why I love you guys. Let me ask you a question, everyone in the chat. Has the transfer recruitment, and that is buying and selling. That's buying and selling. Has the transfer recruitment got better or worse after Julian Ward and Michael Edwards left Liverpool Football Club? So when Michael Edwards and Julian Ward left Liverpool Football Club, did our recruitment get better or worse? And that's not just buying players, that's selling players as well. Let me know in the chat, man. Let me know in the chat. So a lot of people already saying worse. So the chat saying worse, yeah? Right. So we're saying worse, right? We don't sell very well. This is the one thing I will say. We bought some good players. I think McAllister is going to be a beautiful signing in the years to come. I think we'll look back at the McAllister signing as a bit of excellence there. But people talk about we don't buy midfielders, yeah? People say we don't buy midfielders. Liverpool don't buy midfielders. You know, we bought like 2 midfielders in like 4 years, or 1 midfielder in 4 years, whatever it is like that. But we buy multiple forwards, centre backs, full backs, youth players, left backs, right backs. We buy all these other positions on the pitch, but we don't buy midfielders. Why? Why did it take so long for us to start buying midfielders? But we're buying forwards when we didn't really need them. We're buying right backs and left backs and centre backs, but we weren't buying midfielders when we needed them. Like, most Liverpool fans would say our priority is bolstering this midfield in the last few years. We all know Jurgen Klopp's teams are about that midfield engine, because they got to be able to defend in that central area of the pitch. They got the way we want to play with that high line and that press. You've got to have an excellent midfield that is workmanlike. They don't have to be talented players. They just have to be super workmanlike athletes, can get about, can keep the ball, can defend. Yeah. But we don't buy midfielders. Let's go back to the January when we bought Cody Gakpo, right? That January we bought Cody Gakpo, right? But we also knew in that January that Fabinho's legs had gone, Henderson's legs had gone, Milner's legs had gone, yeah? Oxlade-Chamberlain was never fit, Naby Keita was never fit, right? But we went and bought Cody Gakpo. Why? Why did we use the 40 million to buy Cody Gakpo instead of going and... When we just bought Darwin Núñez that summer, by the way, that summer we spent 65 million on Darwin Núñez, right? But our midfielder got no legs. Henderson's legs are gone. Fabinho's legs are gone. We're using Stefan Bajcetic as a brand new player in our team from the youth team to prop up our midfield. And we wondered why he got injured. So why did we waste our money getting another forward when we already bought a forward in the summer, when we knew our midfielder were on their last legs? You know, that made no sense. Made no sense. And Craig's got it out as well. And Craig, maybe because of Pep Lijnders. And that is probably the reason, Craig. Probably the reason. But he's not our manager, or is he? Is Pep Lijnders our manager? This is the thing I'm saying. Is Pep Lijnders our manager, guys? Is Pep Lijnders our manager? Because we're buying players. Pep Lijnders is the last 18 months who's buying the players. You've only got to read Pep Lijnders' book. Read his book, man. He's buying the players. He's scouting the players. And we're playing the Pep Lijnders system. So that's 3 things. We're buying, we're scouting, and we're playing his system. So if we're doing all three of them things, guys, who's the manager of our football club? Who's the manager of our football club right now? If I said them three things to you, you'd think Pep Lijnders was our manager, wouldn't you? You know, do you see what I'm trying to say, guys? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's like Klopp zoned out a couple of years ago. It's like he zoned out a couple of years ago. It's like, why is Pep Lijnders scouting our players, buying our players, and picking the system we play? And if Klopp doesn't like it, if Klopp doesn't like it, Klopp can change it. Klopp's the manager. He could go, look, Pep, we try to play your way, son. I'm really appreciating your influence on the football team and what you're doing for the football team. You're a great coach. I love you. I need you. But I just want to go back to my way of playing for a little bit. I just want to I want to switch it back to a more gegenpressing way of playing. I don't want Trent inverted no more. I want to get Trent down in wide areas. I need Trent's crossing in wide areas because we're not getting nothing out of Trent in the middle of the pitch. I'm grateful for you doing that. You're backing me. And if Pep don't back him, then you got to let Pep go. Simple as that. You're the manager. Don't let this man walk all over you. And you need to see that strength. Alex Ferguson was very good at swapping around his number twos quite a lot. He had quite a few number twos in his time, swapping them about here and there, getting different advice off different people and learning and growing. Yeah. I know Alex Ferguson talks about, is it Carlos Queiroz? I can't pronounce his name. Talks about him quite a lot as a number two to him, with the things he used to, ideas he used to come up with and present to him as an idea how we could move forward and stuff like that. And and then you have Steve McLaren, and you have these different people in there constantly changing. But Alex Ferguson was in charge. Yeah, Rene as well, Gangandeep. But Alex Ferguson was still the manager. He was still the manager. He weren't, Carlos Queiroz, as far as I can remember, weren't taking the press conference for League Cup games or, buying the players or, playing that system if it weren't working. But he was the man. I just feel like Klopp, the last couple of years, is not the same person. He doesn't seem like the same person. The Jurgen Klopp a few years ago was, brash, funny, intelligent. You'd fight for him. He'd back you. The Jurgen Klopp of the last 2 years is just aggressive. He seems aggressive. He always is whinging. He doesn't really smile. You barely hear that fun out of Klopp anymore. He gets irritated quite a lot. It's a totally different person. And if people don't think he is, you're just lying to yourself. It's a completely different manager. It's like the world is on his shoulders. Yeah. And when you feel like that, I personally feel like Klopp should have left 2 years ago if he felt like this. And maybe Klopp should have left 2 years ago. No one would have sat here angry if Jurgen decided he wanted to leave 2 years ago. You got to remember what happened in COVID as well. When we had no fans, his mother passed away. He couldn't go and see her. I know that happened to a lot of people around the world as well, by the way. But, and he probably felt in a place that, Germany's his home. And he probably felt isolated a little bit. And he's not been the same. So if he wanted to leave 2 years ago, I don't think anyone would have said. I don't think any Liverpool fan would have sat here and gone. Everyone would have gone, yeah, I don't blame you. You look fed up. You look down. You look depressed. You don't look right. Your mum passed away. You're going through a lot. I think most Liverpool fans would have been, it's a shame. We're going to miss you. We love you. Thank you very much. But I just feel like not overstayed his welcome, because that's. I'm not going to say overstayed his welcome, because that's the wrong wording. That's the wrong wording. I can't think of another wording, but it feels like it's the right time for Jurgen to for Jurgen to go. It it just feels like it's the right time for Jurgen to go. And I think a lot of the Liverpool fan base are a bit scared. You know, I think everyone is a bit worried and nervous and a bit scared what's going to happen to Liverpool without a Jurgen Klopp. And I get that. I understand that. You got a legendary manager for so long. You know, we got a legendary manager at this football club for so long, and you don't know what's going to happen because, as a Liverpool fan, with legendary managers, you've seen it at Arsenal with Arsene Wenger was obviously there for like 20 odd years. Yeah, he left. You know, the first few years for Arsenal, getting back to where they are today, took some doing. They were the banter club. Everyone used to banter them. You look at Man United and what's happened with Man United for the last 11 to 12 years, whatever it is, since Ferguson left. They're a complete joke of the state of a football club. So I think a lot of Liverpool fans, and I can understand it, are looking at it and going, we're going to turn into that now. It's over. That these days are done. And what I will say about that is, what are these days? What are these days? What are these days that we're going to miss that are done? Now, obviously, 1819 and 1920 were the two best years under Jurgen Klopp. We can all agree with the 1819 season, the 1920 season. Then back-to-back years, Champions League and Premier League is the greatest time ever I have probably had as a Liverpool fan. I'm 42 years old. It's probably the greatest time I've ever had as a Liverpool fan, right? Them 2 years. Then obviously the COVID year is the COVID year. And then 21-22 season when we won the domestic cup double was another fantastic year where we thought, yeah, we're coming back. And then we know what happened last year. And then you look at this year. So if you look at 3 years at the Klopp era, they were the best times, man. Them 3 years. 1819, 1920, 21-22. They were the 3 tremendous years in the Jurgen Klopp era. And they were 3 great individual years as well. I'm not going to sit here and bash it. You know, 1819 for me is the best Liverpool ever played under Jurgen Klopp. You know, we finished on 97 points that season, only lost 1 Premier League game. And if we beat Man City, and that was to Man City, and if we beat Man City like we should have in the home game, we would have done a Premier League and Champions League double and finished on 99 points. I believe that is the best football we have ever played under Jurgen Klopp, was the 18-19 season. I just think it was another level, man. I think it was another level. You know, then the obviously 1920 season, we just blitzed the Premier League. It was a blitzing, absolute blitzing. You know, and obviously then COVID happened. And then 21-22, we got our groove back. We got the old Liverpool back. So we went through the 20-21 season. You know, Liverpool started the season pretty well, fell away, obviously, of injuries. And I don't think we've ever really come back from the injury front since that year either. I think the 2021 season, with all the injuries, I don't think we've ever got over, in my personal opinion. Yeah, in 21-22, we went for the quadruple. We almost got the old Liverpool back. You know, we dominated Real Madrid in the Champions League final, but still lost it because certain right back was switching off. And we still talk about that today, but everyone wants to keep him. But I look at it and think, have we ever really got over them injuries properly? You know, have we ever really got over them injuries? Yeah, in the 17-18 season, Mo Salah's first season, with Bobby, Mo, and Sadio Mane, you know, taking us to a Champions League final against Real Madrid, where, you know, you could probably say if Salah never got injured, you know, we could have won that Champions League. But then obviously you've got Karius in goal, you know, and we know what happened there. So, but yeah, and we're ganging deep on that. But the 18-19 season, though, was just, it was just pure football, man. Pure football. But the injury injuries, guys. The injuries at this football club the last few years have not been sorted out. Why have they not been sorted out? I know Liverpool fans up and down that complain. Big up Kev Oz. I appreciate that, man. Really do. Great unbiased opinions. Love your channel, Jane. Oh, thank you very much, Kev. I don't know if that's your first comment on the channel, you Jabba, but appreciate it, love, man. I appreciate it, love. That's what I try and do. I always try and keep everything unbiased. I don't have agendas. You know, I'm not FSG this. I'm not Klopp this. I'm not. I just try and look at football and my football club in one general thing. You know, I will try and talk about it as unbiased as I possibly can. Yeah, I've always been like that, and you know, we get I get criticised for it, and I always will do, but I can't help that. If people want to feel like something else, they can. But the injuries, though, now the injuries for me, see the squad size. I don't know if the squad size has got a lot to do with it because Man City's squad size is just as small, but they keep their players fit. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen Man City have only had 16 injuries this season and they go win the Premier League. That's not a coincidence. Who is the freshest looking team as we end this Premier League season, guys? What team looks the healthiest and the freshest right now? Manchester City. Why? They've only had 16 injuries this season. That's all. They've had 16 injuries this season. So they're really fresh right now. Got all their players back. They look healthy and they can attack ends of seasons. Is it any coincidence that Liverpool always fall behind and look absolutely shattered at the end of every single season? Like all the time. You look at Arsenal. Arsenal barely rotate, guys. Arsenal barely rotate. Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White and their goalkeeper pretty much play every single game. And then they'll have a Zinchenko or a Tomiyasu who will play left back. If Timber was fit, Timber would be probably playing left back, Ben White right back, and then Saliba and Gabriel in the middle. And I doubt that four will ever change. They stay the same all the time. Declan Rice pretty much plays every single game. Why is Declan Rice not tired, guys? Why is Declan Rice not shattered? Why am I not hearing Arsenal fans going, oh, Declan Rice is on his last legs, he's dead? Why is Declan Rice not shattered when he's played pretty much every game? But I heard everyone saying yesterday that McAllister's shattered and he's dead. He's done. McAllister's not played every game this season. He's had a suspension. He's had a little injury here and there. He's been in and out. He's not played some games. He's been rotated regularly. Yeah. So why is McAllister dead on his feet, but Declan Rice is looking healthy and fit as a butcher, man? You know what? Jorginho, who's an older player, is looking fit and healthy and helping them getting over the line. Barely any rotation. Yeah, barely any rotation. Saka playing every game. You know, key players playing most games, barely rotating. And Arsenal and City have both had less injuries than Liverpool this season. And you wonder why Liverpool fell right at the end. You know, there's two things. Liverpool have played more minutes between games than any other team in Europe this season. And the other one, Liverpool have had far more injuries than Arsenal and Man City this season. And them two are looking the healthiest as we end the season. Liverpool's sharpness has gone because everyone got injured. Everyone got injured. So the sharpness in our team is gone. They're dead on their feet now. They're done. So we're limping over the line. How many times have we limped over the line, man? How many times have we limped over the line? How many injuries do we get that are training injuries as well, man? How many training injuries do we have? How many times in the last 2 years that I've been doing YouTube, guys, that we sit here every day and go, oh, another injury from training? Why does that always happen? Why are we picking up muscle injuries in training all the time? What's happening with the recovery, the medical and recovery department? Why is the medical and recovery department not doing their job enough? Who's to blame for that? Could Jurgen Klopp change it if he wanted to? I don't know. I don't know the answer to these things. Just putting it out there. Could Jurgen Klopp go, look, I need to change I'm the manager of this football club. We know that FSG gave Klopp all the power. Yeah. We know for a fact that FSG gave Jurgen Klopp all the power at this football club, which I think was wrong. You gave the man too much power and too much responsibility. Yeah. You shouldn't be doing that as an owner, right? But they gave him all the responsibility. Yeah. So could Jurgen not have gone, look, I need to revamp my medical department. I need to revamp it because the way I play, the style of football I play with, the aggressive style of football I play with, the aggression that my teams play with, I need these players' recoveries. These players need recovered, because you can't have a squad of 40 players, guys. You can't have a squad of 40 players just so we don't get injuries. That's not realistic, and it don't make no sense either. Like, literally none. It makes none. So I don't know who's to blame with that, because the medical department are all going now. So I don't know if Klopp had the power to go and say, look, I need this medical department gone. I need these players recovered quicker. I need them sharper, and I need them healthier to play the football I need to play, because it's intense. And if I haven't got the players to play this style, we're going to have a lot of trouble. We're going to have a lot of trouble, and we can't compete for the things that we maybe should be competing for, because we'll fall behind, because they get fatigued, they get injured. And I can't have a squad of 40 people. It's not possible. So I don't know whose problem that is. That might be FSG issue. I don't know. I really don't know that part of it. But yeah, the last 2 years on the medical side of it and recovery side of it has been a real issue. The injuries are insane. Absolutely insane. Well, we're bringing players back too early. Well, players like Trent and Jota and Salah, were they brought back too early this season? That's why they got re-injured. Were they fit enough to start? These are the questions we need asking. Yeah, it's a Cockney accent. Why? Yeah, it's a Cockney. Well, I'm not a Cockney. I'm not East London, but it's a London accent. Yeah, it's a Southern accent. Why, my friend? Can I ask why? Is that Rehab City man? Can I ask why? I just want to know, what is it an issue? I'm a Southerner. Is it an issue? I'm a Southerner. I just need to know. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. No, I just want to know. Sure, I'll let you answer. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. A reason I was like that is because I've had people. You won't know the story. You've just come in here and I've gone at you, so I do apologise. But I've had people come at me because I'm a Southern Liverpool fan. So yeah, I was just making sure it's all cool. I came at you. I shouldn't have come at you. But yeah, it's just the medical side of it, man. The medical side of it is, I don't know who's in charge of that. I don't know who has the power to sort that out. I don't know if it's a Klopp thing that he could have sorted out and gone to the board and gone, look, this ain't going to do for me. I need to change it up. I need to sort things out. When it last season that we never had a club doctor? You know, was it last season that we never had a club doctor with that fiasco? When everyone's going like, we don't have a club doctor. I mean, that's mad. I can't blame Jurgen Klopp for that. That's part of the club. You know, whoever's running the football club. You know, that's Mike Gordon, to be fair. I think Mike Gordon gets away with a lot. You know, out of everyone who works for FSG, I think Mike Gordon's the one no one ever talked about. No one ever mentioned him. Is it Mike Gordon? It's Mike Gordon, isn't it? No one ever mentioned him. Everyone always mentioned Tom Werner, John Henry, or Billy Hogan. You know, no one ever mentioned Gordon. Mike Gordon was the CEO of this football club. He pretty much run the day-to-day operations of our football club. Klopp And I believe Klopp and Gordon are like that. They were tight, weren't they? They were tight. No one ever had to go at him, ever. No one ever had to go. No one came for him ever. But if his job was to run the daily operations of Liverpool Football Club, like it is now for Michael Edwards, because Michael Edwards has taken his job, hasn't he? Yes, I believe Michael Edwards has taken Gordon's job, and Gordon has gone on to do something else for the club or FSG or whatever it is. Yeah. So he's taken that job. Why did Gordon always get away with it? I think it's Mike Gordon. I think I'm saying it. Why did he get away with it all the time? Why didn't no one ever mention him? Because he's the actual one that was running the day-to-day job at Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, John Henry was the owner, but we know how John Henry is an owner. It's a franchise. Like Liverpool's a franchise. Red Sox are a franchise. The Penguins are a franchise. And if he gets his Las Vegas basketball team, they will be a franchise. He's not actually running them. He's not doing a daily running of them franchises. They're just a franchise that he runs. He's a multiple owner of different sports. You know, he's an owner of a football team. He's an owner of a basketball team. Eventually, he's an owner of a baseball team. He's owner of an ice hockey team. You know, it's a franchise. He doesn't do the day-to-day running. So he employs someone to do the day-to-day running of that franchise. So Mike Gordon did the day-to-day running of Liverpool Football Club. You know, and Billy Hogan. Yeah. Now it's going to be Michael Edwards. You know, he's going to be doing the day-to-day running of the football club. That's why it's up to Michael Edwards and his team to find the new manager, not John Henry. John Henry's not in charge of, like, he's told Michael Edwards, right, you'll go find my new manager. You're running the football club. I'll leave it to you and the guys. I trust you. You go and do it. All right. That's the way it's working. But no one ever came for Gordon and Hogan. Billy Hogan and Gordon got away with everything. Now, when people come at FSG, they're coming at John Henry and Tom Werner. That's what everyone's coming for. You know, them two, yeah, they got away with everything. And they watched this medical department not be fit for purpose, not be good enough to help Jurgen Klopp. You know, they know Klopp's game is so intense. His training's intense. His football's intense. His press is intense. He needs the players to be at their sharpest. And our medical department and recovery weren't good enough. And we didn't have a fucking club doctor. We never had a club doctor. Do you know how mad that is? Do you know how absolutely bonkers that is? And that's what I talk about structure, guys. The last 2 years, this is what I'm saying. I won't miss the last 2 years because of the structure of our football team. The structure is a mess. Yeah, no club doctor, medical department, their recovery department, all an absolute mess. Yeah, Klopp not at his absolute best. Pep Lijnders allowed to do everything at the football club. Scout, buy, system. That's not a good. It's not good, guys. To be fair, I'll give Jurgen this, guys, to do as well as he's done with their limitations. I'll give Jurgen all the credit in the world for that, actually. For the limitations he's had on him, like that, I'll give him credit, yeah. But at the same time, he shouldn't have allowed it. He shouldn't have allowed it. He should have spoke up more. I would have given far more credit if he spoke up more. I would have given far more credit if he spoke up more. I really would have. But that's what I mean by it, man. We did have a set piece coach. Look at the two top teams in England right now, Man City and Arsenal. They both have set piece coaches. It's a benefit. It's such a huge benefit. You know, having that set piece coach, man. Like, we never replaced him. Like, the set piece coach was there, never replaced him. Why? Why did we think we could do it all? Why did we think Jurgen could do all of it? So Jurgen is set piece coach, manager, assistant coach, lead scout, sporting director. Are we saying that was Jurgen's job in the last 2 years at this football club? He was set piece coach, assistant coach, manager, sporting director, CEO. Like, what more? Why was that allowed? Why was that allowed? It shouldn't have been allowed. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't have been allowed. And Klopp shouldn't have allowed it, by the way, guys. I'm blaming the club for this as well. So, everyone who came at me, I'm blaming the club for this as well. But I'm also blaming Jurgen because he shouldn't have allowed it. He shouldn't have allowed it because it didn't benefit the football club. You're on about that you love a football club and this club is special to you, and the people of Liverpool are special to you, the city is special to you, and every fan that supports Liverpool is special to you. You talk about that constantly. You never walk alone. That's what you talk about. Yeah. Never give up attitude, all this, yeah. But you allowed it. You allowed all this stuff to seep in. You allowed all this to seep in. That's my issue. That shouldn't have been, it shouldn't have been happening. It should have been a stop to it. You should have gone, no, I'm not having this. I just put a stop to it. And do you know what you're doing to me? Yeah. Like, I can't do all of this. I can't beat all this and all that. Sort your shit out. Ultimatum, sort your shit. I can't be assistant manager, sporting director. I can't do it. And you wonder, it makes sense why he's burnt out if you think about it. Like, it makes perfect sense when you think about it, why he's burnt out. He's saying he's burnt out, and it makes perfect sense. He's burnt out because he's had to do all these roles, but he shouldn't have been allowed to at the same time. He shouldn't have been allowed to at the same time. But this is what I'm saying. Look, and one other thing I want to talk about before I finish up here is the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation. Now, for me, the Trent situation is a mad one right now because Trent Alexander-Arnold is pissing me off so much right now, but I wouldn't care if he left. People might go, "Oh, no, Jamie, you're overreacting. You can't say that." He's upsetting me so much at the moment. I wouldn't care if he left. He is showing no appetite whatsoever to be a better right back. None. What's Trent great at? Trent is the best for me on the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold is fantastic on the ball. His attributes, his strengths are on the ball. Yeah? Positions on the pitch where he can be creative and he can cause opposition a lot of trouble with his passing skills. That is what Trent is as good as anyone in Europe at doing. What is Trent bad at doing? What is Trent bad at doing? Trent is bad at defending. Trent is bad at defending. And he doesn't care. He doesn't look like he has the appetite to defend. And the proof's there. It's not like there ain't no proof in it. We see it all the time. And it's this inverted role. It's been since he done this inverted role. This inverted role, for me, I think it's changed Trent a bit. I don't think we're actually getting the best out of Trent Alexander-Arnold in this inverted role at all. I also don't think we're getting the best out of Mo Salah because Trent inverts as well. Because where Trent inverts, he plays in the central area of the pitch. So he sort of takes up a position on the pitch when he attacks that Mo wants to take up. So because Trent inverts and comes inside, Mo's got to go out wider. So Mo's got to go out wider. Mo's not in front of goals. We really like him. Let's go back to the Tottenham game last week. The Tottenham game last week, Trent didn't invert in that game. He stayed as a right back, up and down right back. And for me, it was the best Trent's played since he came back from injury. It's the best Trent's played since he came back from injury. He was, he was overlapping Mo. And Mo scored against Tottenham, I do believe, if I'm correct. And he looked better against Tottenham as well because he was more central to the goal. He weren't so wide because Trent didn't have to cut in and, he's playing as a normal up and down right back. Trent hasn't got the defensive nous to play two positions, in my opinion. I actually think you're not getting the best out of Trent playing in him two positions because he ain't got that defensive nous. He can't do it like John Stones does it. John Stones is a defender first, but he can play on the ball because he's a good footballer. Yeah. But John Stones will always be a defender first. So John Stones will always put himself in defensive situations better than Trent will because Trent don't think like a defender. He just don't. Trent thinks like a midfielder. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to get hold of the ball. He wants to make things happen. He wants to create. And that's what we all want from Trent. And it's like we're putting, square pegs in round holes all around our team, and it's making us lopsided. Look, we can't sit here and disagree that Conor Bradley, when he was playing, there was a bit more balance into our game. And I'm not saying Conor Bradley's a better player than Trent. He's not at all. But there was a bit more better balance to our team with Conor there because he weren't inverting nowhere near as much as Trent was. And he was getting up and down and putting crosses in on the right-hand side. Does anyone else not miss Trent's crosses? I know I do. Does anyone not miss Trent getting down to the byline or getting in a deep position just past the halfway line on the wide right area and missing them crosses? He doesn't do it anymore because he's central. He's central. So he doesn't... I miss them. I really miss the long sweeping passes from right back to left back when he used to play that ball to Robbo. He did it against Tottenham, by the way, because he was on the right wide side of the pitch and he could play that lovely long pass to Robbo, beating the opposition press. He can't do that when he's in the middle of the pitch playing 3-yard passes and keeping the ball ticking over. Trent's better in that, man. He's better in that. And that's his best attribute. And I feel like I always say this. I think with players, you've got to highlight their strengths and hide their weaknesses, yeah? Trent's strength is getting on the ball and creating and making stuff happen. No one else is better in that in this country apart from Trent and maybe De Bruyne, in my opinion. What Trent's weak at is defending and defending positions and wanting to defend. This is the big thing in me as well. How many players in our team actually want to defend, would you say, guys? How many players in our team today, in 2024, 15th of May, how many players in our team actually really want to defend? How many? Give me a number, guys. Give me a number in the chat. How many players in our team actually are willing and want to defend? How many? How many? How many want to put everything on the line to defend and make sure nothing happens? Like, Canate and Virgil are centre-backs, yeah? But do they want to defend? Like, literally, who wants to defend? And, right, some people put in 2, some people put in 3. Now, give me names, guys. Give me names of people that you think in our team actually want to defend. Give me names. I think Robbo likes to defend. I'm going to say that. I think Robbo does like to defend. He might not be as good as he used to be, Robbo, but I do think he likes to defend. Like Kwanzaa, I think, likes to defend. He likes to throw himself around a little bit. I think Kwanzaa likes to defend. I think Endo likes to defend. He might not be the best at it. He might not be like a B+ player or anything like that, but he likes to defend. How many players do we like that defends? And you wonder why. Like we got arguably a world-class player playing at right back in Trent Alexander-Arnold. But does Trent actually like to defend, guys? Yes or no in the chat. Does Trent actually like to defend? Yes or no in the chat, guys. Let me know. 170 you here. Big up all you beautiful people. It's a great like. I'd say Diaz likes to defend. Yeah, I'll give you Diaz. I'll give you Diaz. Everyone's saying no, man. I think Kanate likes to defend. Sometimes I think Kanate likes to defend too much, where he makes silly moments or he tries to foul a striker too much. But he is willing to defend. You know, how many of our midfielders like to defend, guys? How many of our midfielders like to defend? Because they all say no about Trent. So should Trent play right back next season? There's another question. If all you guys are saying no, Trent like to defend, the 25, what is it? The 24-25 season, next season, the 24-25 season, should Trent Alexander-Arnold play as right back for Liverpool next season? Yes or no? Yes or no? And in our midfield, does McAllister really like to defend, or is he just putting in defensive positions? Everyone's saying no about Trent at right back. Then what do we do with him, guys? Then what do we do with him? Because he's a world-class talent. There's no doubt about that. Does McAllister really like to defend? I don't think McAllister likes to defend. I think McAllister likes getting hold of the ball and being creative and making things happen in the middle of the pitch. I don't think he really likes to defend. Endo, I think, does, because that's what he does. Szoboszlai doesn't really like defending. He's not a very good defender. I don't care how many grand jewels he's won and all this shit. He doesn't like defending. So if you've got Szoboszlai, don't really like defending. McAllister don't really like defending. Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, do they really, really like defending? So you wonder why we concede so many chances. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. We need a midfielder next year that loves defending. We need a midfielder next year that can sit there and loves to defend, because we haven't got any. This is why we're so easy to play against, because no one in our team. Gravenberch don't like defending. McAllister don't like defending, really. Szoboszlai, no. If you ask these guys in secret, do you like defending, guys, or do you rather be on the ball in attacking areas of the pitch? They're all going to say, yeah, I want to be on the ball in attacking end of the pitch. He's making things happen. They don't really want to defend. Now, let's go back to when Liverpool were at their best under Jurgen Klopp. When Liverpool were at their best under Jurgen Klopp. When Trent Alexander-Arnold was at his absolute best under Jurgen Klopp. What was our midfield, guys? It was Fabinho, who loved defending. It was Jordan Henderson, who loved defending. It was Gini Wijnaldum, who loved defending. It weren't the best midfield three in world football. You know, we played against your Real Madrids and your Man Cities and your Bayern Munichs, and we'd beat them to things and would be unplayable. But the midfields weren't comparable at all individually. They all had better midfield threes. Milner loved to defend. He loved to get stuck in. Yeah? You take them out of our team. Trent's more exposed. Van Dijk's more exposed. Kanate's more exposed. Alisson's more exposed. People run through our midfield because we're playing a system that don't suit the players that we have in our team right now. This is what it all comes down to. You know, Gini is a fantastic player because Gini in his younger days played wide, I think wide right, I believe. Then he played in the number 10 for Newcastle, and then Klopp saw something in him to play that deep line midfielder. Yeah, it was a deep line sort of midfielder, not a DM, but a deep line midfielder. But he could play him there because Gini liked to get stuck in. Gini was happy getting stuck in. and protecting the ball and winning tackles and winning the ball back. And it's not just about winning the ball back on the halfway line either, guys. It's about winning the ball back in the last third, in the final third of the opposition's area. It's not just about winning the ball back deep in your own box, in your own half, your halfway line. No, it's about winning the ball back 20 yards further up in the opposition's final third and squeezing the game up there, defending really high up. They loved it. They got stuck in. They had grit. They had determination. Was Jordan Henderson the best footballer? Fuck off, no. He was not. But we can't dismiss what Jordan Henderson gave to this team. We just can't dismiss it. You know, he got stuck in. He defended. He used the ball pretty well. Yeah? Is Szoboszlai a better footballer than Jordan Henderson? Yes, of course he is. But he can't do what Jordan Henderson did for Liverpool Football Club in midfield for Jurgen Klopp. It's a fact. As much as we like to take the piss, it's an absolute fact. Leadership. Where's the leaders? Where's the leaders? Tell me where the leaders are in this team, guys. Where's the leaders in this team? Where have they gone? Where's the player that can get on the pitch and shout at someone? Look, Jordan Henderson, he would go up to a Virgil, shout him. He'd go up to an Allison, shout him. He'd go up to a Mo, shout him. He'd let people know. Yeah? You're not doing your job. You're letting the side down. Buck your ideas up. Who's doing that today? Who is doing that today? Can someone tell me who the hell is doing that today? No one's doing that. Who's doing it? If we had, let me put this to you guys right now. If we had a 26-year-old Jordan Henderson, a 26-year-old Gini Wijnaldum, and a 26-year-old Fabinho in our midfield today, right now in 2024, I believe we would have won the Premier League this year. I believe if Jordan Henderson, a 26-year-old Henderson, a 26-year-old Wijnaldum, and a 26 Fabinho, who hadn't lost their legs yet, by the way, got to mention that, who hadn't lost their legs yet, were still fresh, and who were playing in this team with Mo Salah, Diaz's, Darwin's, you know, Jota's, and all that, we would win the Premier League this year. We would win the Premier League this year. We've not replaced them. We've not really replaced them. McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai are completely different players to Gini, Fabinho, and Henderson. Completely different players. Completely different players. And they can't do the same job. We can't sit here and pretend they can, because look how many times we can see goals this season. As I said, if the final whistle went after 15 minutes of every game this season, Liverpool would finish 19th. They are facts, by the way, guys. That's how many goals we concede in the opening 15 and 20 minutes of games this season. It's madness. Facts are there. I'm not saying they're better footballers either. You know, you could argue that the new three are probably better footballers, but they're not giving us what the old three did. We didn't replace them. You know, McAllister's not shouting at everyone to buck their ideas up like Endo would. You know, McAllister's not going over to Mo and going up to Virgil and going to Endo and going, look, get your shit together. What you're doing? You're letting the side down. This is crap. This is not what we're about. McAllister ain't doing that. Suppose I ain't going to say anything either. Do you know? And that's what I'm trying to say. It's just, and we're playing the same style. And this is what it all comes down to, guys. We're playing the same style without the right players. Playing the same style without the right players. And it is, man. I agree with you there as well, Scottish Bear, about Mo, Bobby, and Salah. Mane, Bobby, and Salah. No doubt about that. But I think Salah's still there. I think Jota, because you've got to remember, Scottish Bear, Jota came into that front three as well, did a job. He broke up that front three, was in that 21-22 season. So we've got to give Jota his due. So I think with Diaz as well, Diaz is not. He's not better than Mane, but he's Mane-like where he can defend up the pitch, yeah? He's Mane-like where he can defend up the front end of the pitch. You put that midfield three behind them, I still think they do extremely well. I really do. It's just, look, Bobby's probably the one. Bobby's probably the one out of all of them. Let's be fair here. Bobby Firmino. I think what we're seeing right now, here's one I'll give everyone. I think what we're seeing right now is how good Bobby Firmino was. I think that's what we're seeing. We are now realising, because he's gone now, we are realising how good Bobby Firmino was, because Klopp said it himself, Bobby Firmino is the system. Like, he is the system. He's the one. If you go back in them days, Bobby Firmino's the one who started the press. When Bobby went, everyone else went. You know, Bobby was the system. And I think we're seeing it now, how good Bobby Firmino was, man. I think we're just seeing how good Bobby Firmino was now he's not here. I think Bobby Firmino was a really good finisher. I think he was a better finisher than people give him credit for. It's just that he did a lot of dog work, so he weren't always in the box. But when Bobby was in the box, man, he was putting goals away. Let's not get it wrong here. When Bobby Firmino was in the actual 6-yard box like a striker, he was putting chances away. He came clutch, man. You know, he came clutch, and I just think, like, Bobby, yeah, maybe Mane as well, but I think for me, Bobby over Mane personally. I just, yeah, yeah, I just think, yeah. I mean, replacing Mo, Bobby, and Mane is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult because how good that front three was. But you know, Jota broke that front three up. We've got to remember that. That's how good Jota was, that he broke that front three up. So I'd put Jota in there. Jota and Mo are still there. I just feel like we can see too many chances, guys. And the midfield's not quite right. Now, this might change next season. This may change completely next season because we might not rely so much on the midfield doing all the work. Like, the structure of the team might change. The way we defend as a team structurally might be completely different next season than it is right now. You know, so it won't look so. It'll look a lot different. It won't look so bad. I don't know. That's why I'm sort of like looking forward to next season. And I know people don't like to hear that. But I am looking forward to next season. I like change. People don't like. Obviously, you don't know this about me, but I like change. I don't like things staying the same all the time in anything. Yeah, I change my living room around like every 6 weeks. I look at my living room in 6 weeks' time, and I'm like, I don't like it like that anymore, and I change it round, and my wife goes mad. It's just because I like change. I get excited for change constantly, and I'm excited for change. Now, does that mean I'm a bad guy because I'm excited for change? Because Jurgen's leaving? Am I a bad guy for that? I don't think so. You know, it's. I'm just excited by it. I'm excited by the difference. You know, how we go play, how we go set up. What's the system changes? What's the tactical changes? What are we going to do? I'm very interested in Arne's slot as well, guys. I don't know about you lot, but I'm actually quite interested in this guy because the more I listen to him as well, I'm quite like when he talks. When Arne, I don't know about you guys, yeah, but when Arne Slot talks now and he does these press conferences with Feyenoord, I feel like myself engaged. I like listening to him. I sit there and I like actually listening to him. I think Arne Slot's quite engaging as a personality. I think he talks far better English than Ten Hag, by the way. He also makes more sense than Ten Hag does. He sounds quite engaging when he talks. You know, I like the cut of his jib, shall we say. I do like the cut of his jib. And look, he's not going to be Jurgen Klopp, yeah? That, like, personality-wise, you know, and a talker and all that, Klopp is number one. I'm not even going to say go that. But there's something about Slot that, I don't know, excites me, pause. But there is something there that, yeah, he's, you know, I listen to him. I watch the way his team plays. Ain't they like 25 games unbeaten, by the way, or something mad like that? You know, I watch their team. I watch his teams play recently. I've been watching a lot of Final play recently since I've heard he's going to become our manager. And I watch them play and I watch the way they set up, and I'm really intrigued by it. He's obviously a good coach. There's no doubt about it. He's got obviously something about him where he's a good coach. It's a massive gamble. Let's not pretend it ain't. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, oh, this is perfect. It's the choice I would have made. No, I'm not saying that. It is a big gamble. Edwards has put his neck on the line for me. Edwards has completely put his neck on the line here. It's a massive gamble going from Klopp to Slot. It just is. And I know a lot of people are not intrigued by it. But the more I watch his final team play, the more I learn about him, the more I listen to him when he talks, the more engaged I am about him, the more like I'm quite intrigued by this character. You know, I'm actually intrigued by him. But, you know, his system is a little different, Promo, to be fair. His system is a little different. There's similarities between him and Klopp, but it's a little bit different. Like his wide players, for instance, play a bit like Man City's wide players more than Klopp's wide players. You know, there are differences, and he defends in a different structure to Klopp does, you know. High lines, look, I know everyone talks about high line. Everyone plays a high line. You know, Arsenal, when they got the ball, play high up. City, when they got the ball, play high up. You know, City off the ball, play high up this season. You know, Liverpool obviously play high up. Aston Villa play high up. You know, Barcelona in their prime, you know, Messi and all that, they played high up the pitch because they controlled the game in the opposition half. You know, a lot of teams play high up, but it's how you defend when you play high up. It's how you defend when you play high up. That's going to be very intriguing to me. I'm intrigued. I'm so intrigued by it. I'm so intrigued by it that, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I think they, you know, it's obviously it's Feyenoord at the end of the day, so it's hard to gauge because Feyenoord are not a very good team. So, you know, they're pretty average side. It's Feyenoord, right? But what he'd done with them is quite spectacular. You know, Feyenoord are like the fourth biggest team in the Netherlands, really. You know, it's Ajax and PSV. They're really the two top dogs there. And I believe they've only won 2 league titles in 24 years. I believe that's correct. I don't know if I've got any, I don't have honesties in the chat or anything, but I believe they've only won 2 league titles in 24 years. And he won one of them, and he won the cup the other weekend as well. And he was in a title race with PSV this year, but unfortunately for them, PSV went and won the title. Everyone forgets as well, in the COVID year when he was AC Alkmaar manager, he was level on points with Ajax when the Dutch league decided to null and void their league when COVID happened. So, you know, he's obviously got something about him. You know, he's obviously got something about him. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm intrigued by it. What can I say? It's just will it work? I don't know. As I said, it's the biggest gamble Edwards and his team have done. It seriously is. It's the biggest gamble them guys have done. It's if it pays off, it's going to look like a masterstroke. If it pays off, it's an absolute masterstroke. If it doesn't, you know, it comes back on Edwards at the end of the day. You know, don't come at John Henry and all that. Go at Edwards, man. He's the one. He's literally the one that's in charge right now. So yeah, he's the one I would blame if it all goes wrong. No one else. But guys, that's me done for tonight. I hope everyone now officially understands where I was coming from. You know, I've got love for Jurgen Klopp. I always will. On Sunday, it will be an emotional day. His final game as Liverpool manager. Of course, it will. I'm not a cold-hearted bastard, you know. I will feel emotion at his last game. But don't ask me to have the same attachment that you do. That's all I ask. If you got more of an attachment to Jurgen Klopp than I have, and you don't want to criticise him for anything, that's fine. But if I do, don't come at me for that. Stupid. No need, man. No need. No need. But guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. And I knew you guys would always be there for me, and I appreciate it. You know that. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for being there for me always, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. We've got the top 5 show tomorrow. Got myself. Hopefully got Drifty on as well. Big up Drifty. I think he might be joining us tomorrow. He said he should be doing it. I've got K-Mac on. I've got Enz on. I've got Ben on as well. So yeah, and I've got G on as well, and maybe Cav. Yeah, Cav ain't been on the channel for about a year, I think. So it's gonna be a packed show tomorrow, guys. So make sure you're here tomorrow for the 6 p.m. for the top 5 show. The top 5 show, second episode tomorrow. Make sure you're here for it. I appreciate all the love, guys. See you tomorrow. Enjoy your rest of your night. Bye-bye.